And we live, baby. And we live. The first cousin over there to YouTube say, I'm here in the chat. The first cousin get over there, say, I'm here in the chat. What's happening? For everybody that don't know, everybody that's on IG, everybody that's tuning in on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? We about to do this Tim's Tidbit, but tonight, what's up, Tasha? Tonight, me and Lex gonna be doing supplemental Sundays. Y'all got off the chain with them things y'all wanted to see. You feel me? Y'all was going crazy with the. I told Lex, I say, Lex, you open that can of words. I ain't finna talk about all that, man. These folk got how long y'all think supplemental Sunday is? But supplemental Sunday 1 hour long, man. Hey, y'all, let's get it. Y'all share this out with the cousins, man. It's 3 o'clock. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. We gonna go ahead and get into it. Share this out with the cousins. Share this out with the cousins. Share this out with the cousins. Y'all already know what we finna do, man. Let me pop my little thing up here. What's up, mama? What's up, Tiffany? I see my mama in the building, so we go ahead and get started, man. What we talk about today? We talk about setting up ATM strategies, why, how to set it up, not only how to set it up, but why you're setting it up, and then how to download backtest data, and how to connect to the playback server through NinjaTrader. That's what we're going through. As y'all know, if you want the slides, you can download the slides for free. There's a link in the description below. If you on IG, you can go to the IG my IG what you call it profile. It's a link in the profile to say download Tim's Tidbit slides. You can download the slides there absolutely free. I don't want nothing from you. Y'all go ahead and what up, Lex? Y'all go ahead and share this out with the cousins and like the video, man. They say liking the video help, but we gonna go ahead and jump right into it as soon as I share my screen. I've been trying to figure out why I couldn't see the screen, because I ain't share the screen. Tim, you ain't share the screen, man. Stop playing. Here we go, man. Like I say, that's what we gonna be talking about. We talk about setting up ATM strategies. And for anybody who don't know what an ATM strategy is in NinjaTrader, it's an advanced trade management strategy. Advanced trade management. Well, Tim, what you mean by advanced trade management? I'm glad you asked that question, little Timmy Rogers. It lets you predefine a way that you want to get out of the trade. that kind of messed you up right there, did it? You thought I was gonna say help you get in the trade. No, it lets you predefine so that the system will automatically get you out of the trade if the trade hits these different benchmarks, to the bad and to the good. That's what advanced trade management is. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the words. Trade management. It's managing the trade for you. Once you put the trade on, the computer say, I got it from him, Tim. I got it from him. From here, I'm gonna manage this trade for you. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all ain't tell me I ain't had my pretty overhead light on, man? Y'all supposed to tell me that, man. Let me get my pretty overhead light going. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got me slipping. Got to get my pretty overhead light, man. Can't be out here in these, you know what I'm saying, non-pretty headlight over your head streets, man. Got to get my pretty headlight up there, man. Why it don't make no difference. I can't even stick it on here. There you go. Got my pretty overhead light, man. Y'all tripping. All right, here we go, man. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Y'all know what time it is, man. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. You can say it with me at this point in line. Doc. Doc. I know you ain't said no Uncle Tim. I will come to your house and jump on you, Doc. All right, y'all can say it with me by this time, man. Y'all already know what the lick read. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a fiduciary. Nothing I say should be taken as financial advice. Do your own research. Investing involves considerable risk, and you should always consult a financial advisor before making any investment decision. You feel me? You know? Shout out my family, man. Y'all already know who my family is, man. Y'all know everybody. I say this every week. My little sister Kiki Williams, Stock Steph Adams, baby. Link up with Kiki Williams, Stock Queen on Instagram if you want to be a part of amazing community. The Come Up series on YouTube. They live. I still ain't update my slide. They live on Tuesdays at 8:30. Me and Lex gonna do supplemental Sundays tonight on the Come Up series YouTube channel at 8 o'clock. Y'all pull up for that. Shout out AJ, shout out TiVo. Everybody know Mark and Jolene ain't shouting them out no more. Them the OGs, right? Shout out AJ, shout out TiVo, shout out, all the cuz that been holding it down. Shout out my brother Jason Sweetin, the world famous Bond Bullets. That's the person who taught me how to trade futures. If you want to learn from the person that taught me how to trade futures, click on the link in the description. I got an affiliate link down there. You can purchase his course, or you can hang out with me and learn it for the free 99. Now, I ain't gonna be talking about futures all the time. I'm primarily a options trader, but if you want to learn from the man who taught me, click on that link. Yeah, I get a commission for that. Full disclosure. Shout out to cousin Zay, man. Zay, first gen. Well, Jay got a group called the Runners. Holla at Zay. Zay know it all, man. Zay know technicals, fundamentals. He know how to play puts. He know how to play calls. He know how to swing trade, shares. Zay know it all, man. Learn with Lex. I got the trade. She changed that to Trader Lex. I don't know why she changed the Trader Lex. She should have changed it to Alexandria Cartwright. That's what she should have changed it to. But learn with Lex. Amazing. She can break down any company. You know, man, y'all know my family, man. Finance on Fleet, Big Draco in the building. Shout out Draco in the building. Prolific Prophecy Official. Charles Conant. Book you a one-on-one with this man. If you're trying to get your financial and investing future on the right track, book you a one-on-one with Charles Conant. Word on the street, when you book one-on-ones, you helping out some charity. I don't know how true that is, but that's word on the street. Either way it go. If it's charity, or charity, you know what I'm saying, in his pocket. I don't know, but Uncle Charles, everybody call him Charles Conant. Book a one-on-one with that man. That man can get you on the right path. Trading with a dummy. Shout out to homie Mark. He got a fantastic YouTube page reviewing all these folks, keeping the cousins on the right track, make sure they don't fall into no pits, you know what I'm saying, fall into no traps and all of that right there. Shout out to homie Tag and his homeboy Brandon. I think it's Brandon. I don't know Brandon, but they got this, you know what I'm saying, this futuristic business resume writing, linking everything together thing with Right C. Y'all check out Right C. Y'all check out Official Brand Resumes, or Brand Resumes Official or something. Check them out on Instagram, man. The Right C is one of their pages, and that can get you to all the other ones. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Professor. I oopsed up on this dude. He's a day trader, but he day trade shares. He don't day trade options. He don't know nothing about options. He don't know nothing about futures. He day trade shares. Dope dude. I came across his YouTube page, went live with him a couple times. He a cool cat, man. Why am I looking this way? I need to be looking that way. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now that we done beat that dead horse, y'all already know my family. Let's jump right into it, man. So, when it comes to, let me go back right here. When it comes to setting up an ATM, right? What you want to do when you set up before you set up ATM, when you remember last week I walked you through how to download Ninja Trader and all of that right there. Before you go through setting up an ATM, before you go through downloading the back test data, the first thing you need to do is set up your account in a realistic fashion. Because when you first download it, they start you off with a whopping 100,000. Now, if you're gonna be trading with $100,000, you already where you need to be. Go ahead and leave it there. But if you like Tim Rogers, you ain't gonna be trading with $100,000 in your futures account. You feel me? So the first thing you need to do is set your account up, you know what I'm saying, with a realistic capital amount that you're going to be trading, so you won't be jumping out here trying to trade 66 shares on 66 contracts on the NQ, setting a 100 point stop loss and a 500 point target, and just because you got $100,000 in your sim account. You feel me? First thing you want to do is set up a realistic capital amount. right? And what's a realistic capital amount? You got to answer that question for yourself, but I'm just going to tell you how to do it. First thing you want to do is you want to click on the account tab in the control center. If y'all remember from last week, you know what I'm saying, what the control center is this thing right up here. Over there, can y'all see my mouse there? Baby, can you see my mouse on the screen? Right here, the control center right over here, that's the control center. What you want to do, you want to make sure you click on the account tab. Right at the bottom, you got like orders, executions, strategies, positions, accounts, logs. This the default stuff. If you don't change nothing, the account tab will be right there with an arrow pointing to you. Click on that. Once you click on that account tab, then you'll see up there, it tell you all about your account, right? So after you click on that account tab, what you want to do, you want to right click on the screen, like anywhere on the screen on the control center. You can right click in this space right here where I got an arrow pointing. You can right click up here on the numbers if it make you feel good, but you just want to right click on the control center somewhere up there in that gray space up in there in the control center. Once you click on that control center, what you want to do, you want to click where it says edit account. It's going to be like a little pop-up menu that come up when you right click, and you want to click on edit account. Once you click on edit account, it's going to pop up another little menu, right? It says account properties. The menu says account properties, right? So what you want to do is like, let's just call that halfway down. You'll see a thing that says initial cash, right? All the rest of that stuff, don't pay it no mind, because I don't pay it no mind. I'm just telling you how, you know what I'm saying, Tim Rogers do this. I ain't going to tell you everything about it. I'm going to tell you how I use it. They got some awesome educational videos if you want to learn what every little block, button, and circular square do on here, do that. But I'm just going through what I know. So you go to initial cash. When you go into initial cash, that's what you're going to set to your realistic capital amount, right? In our example, the IB3, whatever that say, if you want to see the screen, go to YouTube, youtube.com/thenewTLR, and welcome aboard. Go ahead and subscribe too, because you must be new here. Yeah, subscribe to youtube.com/thenewTLR. You'll see the screen. It look real pretty too. So the initial cash, I got something in my eye. The initial cash is where you want to set it. In this example right here, we're setting it to $3,000. Because that's a realistic small account for Tim Rogers. You know what I'm saying? That might be a lot of money to some people. That might be just a pitiful amount to other people. But guess what? That's my reality, and I love that. I own that reality. You know what I'm saying? You got to own your reality. Don't try to do what they do over there. If you see a fuzzy little red bear in the woods, don't follow that fuzzy little red bear in the woods. Stay on the trail. Stay on the trail. You know what I'm saying? So in our example, we're going to set it to $3,000, right? Boom. Once you set it to $3,000, see, I said I'm set it to $3,000. You can set it to whatever you want. You can set it to $1,500 if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You can, and at least set it to $1,300. Well, Tim, why you want me to at least set it to $1,300? Because setting it to $1,300 would give you enough capital to have the initial margin to cover one micro ES contract. For a micro ES contract, it's like $1,283 or something like that. That's the initial margin that you need. And I believe in only trading the instruments that you have enough capital in your account to cover the initial margin of one contract. If you don't have $12,885 or whatever it is, I don't feel like you should be trading the ES. If you don't have $1,300 to $1,283 in there, I don't feel like you should be trading the micro ES. Just only trade instruments that you have enough money in your account to trade, to cover the initial margin. Because if you don't have the money to cover the initial margin and you're in a position, right, and just say you're down in that position, but you haven't reached your stop loss yet, and you like, oh man, the market getting ready to close, I need to hold this over the break so I can, you know what I'm saying, let this position work. If you don't have enough money in there to cover that initial margin, the broker is going to close that position. If you losing or winning, they don't care. They're going to hit you with what they call a margin call, baby. Whoop, and you just going to be out. You just gonna be out. So once you set your initial margin, you want to hit reset. Can y'all see that? Do I need to blow these slides? Do I need to blow it up something like this right here? Is that better? Do you want me to blow it up when I'm talking about it, or just leave it like that? Right? So you're gonna set the initial initial cash, and then you're gonna hit that reset button right there in the bottom right of that little, excuse me, that little pop-up menu, right? The accounts properties, right? And once you do that right there, you're gonna get a little warning that pop up that tell you, it says resetting this account cannot be undone. Are you sure you want to continue? And it got something about clearing history. It's defaulted check. I don't know what history you're talking about. Don't care what history you're talking about. But when you hit yes on there, look what it does. It sets your initial margin to whatever, your cash value to whatever you put in that box. You see the little 3,000 up there that I got circled, where I got that little pretty yellow circle up that say 3,000. If I go back a slide and blow it up, right? If I go back a slide and blow it, see how I say 100,000 up there, right there? Say 100,000. But once you hit that reset and hit yes, boom, look at that. It goes to whatever you set it to. Then you just hit the OK button. Now, you have set your account to a realistic amount. The amount of money that you know you're going to be working with. The amount of money that, you know what I'm saying, okay, this is what I'm really having in my brokerage account, so I can't run out here and pretend like I'm a thousandaire and I'm going to be buying 4, 5, 6 ES contracts at a time. Then, what's up, here to learn and share? I didn't know you was in the building, man. What's going on? But, yeah, matter of fact, did I see you on IG already? I think I saw you on IG already. But yeah, man, the sound effects is a must. Yeah, so you want to set it to a realistic amount so that you'll get into the habit. Like you want to practice like you play. You want to practice like you play. Practice like you play. You don't want to go out here practicing buying 10 contracts, and then when you start and you can only buy 1 contract, and you're looking at the amount of money that you're making or you're losing, and then like your mindset ain't together. You want to practice like you play. So now we're gonna get into now that we're gonna set it to a realistic amount, we're gonna get into setting up the ATM management. Do anybody remember what I said ATM was, right? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. If you remember what I said ATM strategy, the ATM was, somebody put it in the chat, right? So what you want to do, you want to click, if you look over here on the this is I already showed y'all how to set this up in the last one. This is the chart trader over there on the right hand side, right? Over here on the chart trader, if you look over here on the chart trader, I got an arrow pointing to this little drop down box icon right here up under ATM strategies. Right now, you notice how it says none, because we haven't set up an ATM strategy in this sim account that I this demo account. I said sim in this demo account that I set up, right? So you want to click on that little drop down arrow, right? Once you click on that little drop down arrow, right, it's going to open up a little box. When you open up that little box, if you notice, right, it says custom, it says none, and then it's a blank space down here. What's that blank space? That blank space is where once you start saving ATM strategies, they will be pinned in that blank space right there, so you can drop down and select your saved ATM strategies. Like you can make all different ones if you want. You can make for different instruments. You can make one for the ES, one for the NQ, one for the ZB, one for the CL, one for whatever. You can make a bunch of different ones if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Or you can make multiple ones for the same instrument. Like you can make one ATM strategy for one contract. You can make one ATM strategy for 3 contracts. You can, you know what I'm saying? You can make ATM strategies for like whatever, and they'll be pinned in here. You know what I'm saying? I recommend you don't go crazy with how many you make. You know what I'm saying? Start out simple in the beginning. Like they used to tell me in the military, KISS. Keep it simple. Ooh, the last word. All right. Once you click on custom, right? If I didn't say that on the last slide, you click custom, right? Once you click on custom, it's going to pop up a little, what they call it, custom strategies properties pop up, right? And so you're going in here, you're going to set your quantity. I always set mine to 1 because you can adjust the quantity that you want to, of contracts you want to put on and then once you hit it, it's gonna adjust the quantity in this in the order for you. That's why I always set mine to 1, unless I want to do a strategy where I'm going to scale out of the position. You know what I'm saying? Because you can do that too. But you're going to set your quantity. You're going to set your TIF. The TIF stands for time in force, right? When I first heard this, somebody say this, I thought they were saying time in force, like EN force, but it's time in force, TIF, right? And so what TIF is the amount of time that the order gonna stay out there, right? And you're gonna set your parameter types, right? You're gonna set your parameter types. For futures, they default to ticks, but I'll show you the other stuff that's in there in a minute. In this box, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna set your quantity, you're gonna set your your TIF, and you're gonna set your parameters, and then you're gonna go into some other stuff too. But we're just gonna touch on them 3 first, right? The quantity is self-explanatory. I ain't gonna insult nobody's intelligence. But the TIF, right? What choices do you got for the TIF, right? For the TIF, you got day. I always use day. Well, Tim, why you always use day? Because day, right? What Doc said, automatic Tim money, man, baby. You already know what the lick read, baby. You where you at? You in here, baby? You in StreamYard? Calandra. She done went to sleep. Calandra. Whoa there. Yeah. Did your mama go back to sleep? I did. My sweetie, I'm trying to get you to block Doc, and you out there sleeping. So, all right, let's get back to it, man. Squirrel, I done got distracted, man. So I stick it. I leave. Little Timmy Rogers, I'm glad you asked me that question. I leave it on day, because when you put it on day at the close of market, if that order still sitting out there, the system will just cancel that order, right? GTC is good till canceled. It will sit out there. Every system have a different parameter of how long they hold GTCs. A lot of platforms hold GTCs for like 45 days. And you know what I'm saying? They have different parameters, but good till cancel, it'll stay out there until you or the system cancels it. And like I say, they different platforms you have to find. So you'll have a GTC order out there and forget about it. And then the next day you come out there and you might end up in a trade you don't want to be in, right? And then GTD is good to date. Right, it's like you pick the date and time that you want to get out of that trade. You know what I'm saying? It's similar to good to cancel, except for it'll cancel at a specific date that you specify. But I leave it on day. I leave it on day because I wanted to get out. If I, you know what I'm saying, like if I got an options trade out there, or if I got a futures trade out there and it ain't coming back to me, I'm gonna cancel it anyway. But if I forget, then the system will cancel it for me at the close, right? So you set your TIF. Now that you set your TIF, you want your parameter type. It defaults to ticks, and you can set that in something. I can't remember where. In some of them settings somewhere you can set it, but it sets the ticks. It's got currency, it's got percent, it's got price, it's got ticks, and it's got pips. A lot of people from futures, I mean from Forex, they know pips. They be like pips, ticks, all that right there. It's just the ticks is just the smallest increment that the instrument can move. You know what I'm saying? Just like if you got $1, the penny is the smallest increment of the US dollar. The tick is the smallest increment that instrument can move, and different instruments got different tick values. For the ES, there are 4 ticks in every point. For the NQ, there's 4 ticks in every point. For the ZB, there are 32 ticks in every point. You know what I'm saying? Every instrument's got its own thing, so you need to know points, not ticks. Oh, I done got ahead of myself. All right, so ticks, got that. Okay, now once you've set them, the quantity, the TIF, and the parameter type, before you set up a stop loss or a profit target, you need to calculate your maximum allowed loss in ticks. You need to know what your maximum allowed loss is in ticks. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking to Tim Rogers. I ain't talking to nobody else. I'm talking to Tim Rogers. You feel me? And I don't know, I can't bring you up. Y'all hold on for a second. I don't know how to bring you up without you. Yeah, I had put you I was trying to put you in there, but it brings you. Okay. All right. My sweetie says she good. I just saw you on there. Okay. What did you just do? Okay. Why did it stop sharing my screen? All right. Sorry about that. Anyway, I thought my sweetie wanted to come up, but she said she good. Okay. Uh you need to calculate your max loss in ticks. And then once you calculate your max loss in ticks, right? You need to figure out if your max loss is going to determine a favorable risk to reward, right? And I'll walk you through all of that, what it means. So the first way to figure out what your max loss in ticks is, what you want to do, you want to take the capital that you got, right? I got this little handy dandy stuff on the screen up here, right? We set this account up with $3,000, right? That's where we at right now. We got our capital of $3,000, right? Our max loss is 2% of our total capital, right? So 3,000 times 0.02 is $60, right? So our max loss on any one trade is $60, right? So now we want to figure out what that is in ticks. We're going to figure out what that is in ticks. So you take your max risk, $60, and you divide that by the tick value, right? You notice I put $1.25. Well, Tim, why you put $1.25? I'm glad you asked that, little Timmy Rogers, because we're only trading the MES. Why are we trading the MES? Because we only have $3,000 in our account. And the initial margin on the MES, let's just round it up to $1,300. It's $1,300. We got to have $1,300 in there. The initial margin on the ES, let's round it up for easy math, it's 13,000. Since we don't have 13,000 in our account, we should only be trading the MES. We should only be trading the micros. And the tick value for the micro MES is $1.25. So you divide $60 by $1.25, right? That says your max stop loss is 48 ticks. Your max stop loss on any one trade is 48 ticks. Now, we know what our max stop loss is in ticks, right? So I got a little cheat code down here. 4 ticks equals 1 point. So 48 ticks is 12 points. Now, what was the second part of this right here? It said determine if your max loss will yield a favorable risk to reward, right? So when you're looking at your asset, you're saying, okay, Tim Rogers, I only want to take a trade that's going to yield me at least a 3-to-1 risk to reward. I want it to be at least 3-to-1, right? So my max loss is 12. What's 12 times 3? 12 times 3 is 36. So I'm saying, okay, do I think it's going to be realistic to hit 36 points every single time I fire with this ATM strategy, right? So for this setup right here, I'm saying, nah, it ain't realistic that I'm going to get 36 points. You know what I'm saying? I just want to show you how to get your max. You know what I'm saying? It ain't realistic I'm going to get 36 points every time. That's what I'm saying for this trade. I'm not saying it's not possible. Just for this ATM strategy, I'm saying, oh no, it's not feasible to get 36 points every single time I run this setup. You know, so I'm a scale it back a little bit, right? And so when we scale it back, we're going to scale it back to we at the part where we setting our stop loss, our profit target, and we getting ready to, we setting our stop loss and profit target, then we're gonna save the template. So our stop loss in this example, we're going for 32 ticks or 8 points. Why are we going for 8 points in this? It's a little less than my max. I don't want to risk the max on this. I don't think the max is going to yield me a favorable trade every time I go into it. You see what I'm saying? So instead of risking 12 and going for 12, 24, 36, right? Instead of risking 12 and going for 36, is that math right? My math right on that? Somebody check my math. Check, is that math right, baby? So instead of risking 12 and going for, let me see. How I pull my, there it is. Y'all know I gotta check my math here. Yeah, instead of risking 12 and going for 36, you know what I'm saying? I'm risking 8, right? And going for 24. Right? 8 times 3. Yeah, the math still working. The old noggin is still working, baby. I still got my mentals. Yeah, so instead of risking 12 and going for 36, I'm risking 8 and going for 24 because I feel like a 24 piece, as Lex like to say, is a little bit easier to get every time than a 36 piece, and I'm not risking my max stop loss on every trade. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of scaling it back a little bit. I'm minimizing my risk, right? So once you set your risk and stop loss, and once you set your profit target, your set your stop loss in ticks and set your profit target in ticks. Now, if you don't want to automate, if you don't want to automatically adjust your stop or set it to break even or move your stop automatically, you could just click save template at this time, and this will save the ATM strategy. If you do want to set up an automated stop strategy, we'll go over that in a minute. We're gonna go over that in a minute. But if you just want to set your stop loss, you don't want your stop loss to ever move, you just want to have your target, you let the trade work without adjusting your stop, without touching anything, you will just hit save template right now and give your template a name. Let's go ahead and go through that. Boom. You will hit save template. You will name the ATM strategy right here. If you notice, I try to name mine with something I understand. Like I put the instrument on there. I put I got MES 3-to-1 because it's a 3-to-1 risk to reward, and it's a 24-point profit target. That's what that stands for. It's MES 3-to-1 24-point PT. That's what that means, right? So I know the instrument, I know the risk to reward, and I know how many points I'm going for in the ATM strategy name, right? And then you just click save, and your ATM strategy is set up, right? Now, if you want to automate your if you want to set up a stop strategy, right? If you if you don't want to set it up, you just click OK, and then you'll be done. If you don't want to set it, but if you do want to set up a stop strategy, then you'll click that little drop down box right there where the number 2 say. You'll click that little drop down box up under stop strategy. Right up on the stop strategy, you'll click that little drop down box right there, and when you click on that drop down box, you're going to click on custom. Right, you're gonna click on custom because you're gonna make a custom stop strategy. And notice, right, the same thing as the ATM strategy, where you got a little box up under there where it saves the different ATM strategies that you make. There's also a little box for the saved stop strategies, because you can put the ATM strategy on with or without a stop strategy, so you don't have to use the stop strategy every single time. You can save the stop strategy template and then put it on and take it off at your will, right? So you hit custom, and once you hit custom, then it's gonna open up another little box, right? And in this box, you're gonna set your profit target, and you're gonna set it says profit trigger. I said profit target. You're gonna set the profit trigger, and you're gonna set it says plus, and I'll explain what I just explained it now, right? So the profit trigger is the amount of ticks the price gotta move to trigger the stop move, like starting to automate, right? And then the plus is the amount of ticks past break even that you want the stop loss to move once it's triggered, right? If you don't want the stop loss to move, if you only want to go to break even, right? If you only want, if at 15 ticks you wanted the trade to go to break even, you would put 15 in profit trigger and leave the plus at 0. And it at fifth, once they trade move 15 ticks, it'll automatically move you to break even at the point where you entered the trade, right? All the stuff that say auto trail up under there, I'm gonna kind of talk about it a little bit later, but we ain't gonna go into deep detail on that because it can, that's like a can of worms. You can go real deep on that. But I'm gonna glaze over it a little bit later. I ain't gonna leave it out. That's how you set a trailing stop, but I ain't gonna get too deep into it because you can go down the rabbit hole on that, right? So you're gonna set your profit trigger and your plus, right? So in our example here, we set it for when it moves 64 ticks, right? When the trade moves 64 ticks, or what's that? How many points is that? 18 points. Let's check the math. 64 divided by 4, 17 points. When that moves 17 points, when the trade moves 17 points, lock in 9 points, right? When the trade moves 17 points, lock in 9 points. When it moves 64 ticks, lock in 36 ticks. Well, Tim, why are you locking in 36 ticks? I'm glad you asked that question, little Timmy Rogers. I'm choosing to lock in 9 points because my stop loss was 8 points. So if this trade moves 18 points and then decides it's want to turn around and go against me and stop me out in profit, I'm still making more than I was risking. It's not a really good risk to reward at the stop loss, but I'm trying to give the trade room to breathe, but I'm protecting my profits because I don't want to go. I'm trying to get 24 points on this trade setup that we did. If it gets to 22 points and turn back around and stop me out at -8 points, my feelings gonna be hurt. So once it gets up to 17 points, I'm telling it to move it to save 9 points for me if it turn around and start going against me. And that way, I'm always, as long as I don't immediately get stopped out and it go against me, I should always make more than I'm risking, either a little bit more or 3 times more. That's why I set it to 36, because my initial stop loss is 8 points. So I'm saving a little bit more than that I'm risking, right? Then you will click Save Template. Now, when you click Save Template here, this is for saving the stop strategy. This is not for saving the ATM. This is for saving the stop strategy. So you're going to name your stop strategy, right? If you notice, I said save 36 at 64. I try to name it in a way so I know what the stop strategy is doing. Save 36 ticks at 64 ticks. That's how I keep it simple, just like that. And then you just click save, right? Once you click save, you're going to come back to the same little box, and then you'll just click OK, right? Now, let me touch on the trailing stop just for a quick minute, right? So as you see on, it said right over here on auto trail, right? It says none, right? It says none, and then step 1, step 2, and step 3, right? So step 1, if you click on step 1, right, it'll drop down a box. Let me it might be easier just to do it like this. Let me see if I can do it like this right here. Y'all hold on for 1 second. I'm gonna try to see if I can cause I didn't okay. Did we go into let me go into here. I'm just y'all bear. I'm opening up my Ninja Trader so I can show you okay. All right, so Ninja Trader, Ninja. I just go to this one right here. I just edit this one, right? So when you go in here, right here. When you go in there, you see stop one and two, and this is kind of small. But when you drop it down, it gives you a stop loss. It gives you a stop loss. It gives you a profit trigger, and it gives you a frequency, right? When you're making your trailing stop. And then the same thing with step 2 and step 3. It just adds different layers to it, right? So in step 1, right? In step 1, right, just say if it once it gets to, let's say once it gets to, you got to think about it in this sense. Once it gets to 20 ticks, we're gonna say 20 ticks. Once it gets to 20 ticks in profit, right? Once it gets to 20 ticks, it got to be in relationship to what you already set up here. So make sure you well, let's just do it like this. Once it gets to 64 ticks, because we got the 64 up here. Let's no, let's go 70. Once it gets to 70 ticks, because we did 64 up here. Once we get to 70 ticks, right? Move my stop loss 10 ticks behind wherever the price is, right? And then that's what the stop loss is. So on profit trigger on the trailing stop, once it gets to this amount, move my stop loss this many ticks behind whatever the price is. And then the frequency is once it triggers there, I'm gonna put a 10 here. Every 10 ticks that it move, adjust my stop loss 10 ticks behind. That stop loss is 10. It's gonna keep it at whatever that stop loss is. Adjust my stop loss. So on this setup, we had our profit target when it hit 64, move my stop loss to 9 points, right? But once it get to 70 ticks, move my stop loss to 10 ticks behind whatever the price is, right? And every 10 ticks after that, keep adjusting my stop loss 10 ticks behind the price, right? And then what step 2 mean is, right? So let's just say it get up to 80 ticks. Once it get to 80 ticks, right? Move my stop loss to 5 ticks behind the price, and I'm gonna put a 2 here, and every 2 ticks, drag my stop loss 5 ticks behind the price, right? I said I wasn't gonna go deep into it, and I end up going deep into it anyway. You just ain't got it on the slides. If you want to do that, watch the replay. All right, move out the way, Ninja Trader. Okay, here we go. So hopefully everybody understood that. Hopefully I ain't confused nobody with that. And then after you do that, you hit OK. After you save the stop strategy, right? And then once you, what is it doing? Okay. And then once you save the stop strategy, if this is your first time, right? Remember before, we said you can either save the template and not do a stop strategy, or you can do it all in one step. No matter if you're doing it all in one step or if you come back doing it again, you have to hit save as template on the ATM strategy screen right here. You got to hit save as template there, because when you hit save as template, it's going to add this stop strategy as a part of the ATM strategy. So if you want that stop strategy to be connected to the ATM strategy, you have to hit save template here, right? And once you hit save template, it's, if you've already set it up before, you're going to get a replace. It's going to say, hey, this template already exists. Do you want to replace it? Yes. Then you just hit yes and you replace the template, because you know what I'm saying? Because you're going to name it the same thing. Or you can name it something different and just have one ATM strategy with the what's name already connected, and have one ATM strategy without the stop strategy connected. It's up to you. You know what I'm saying? Make it how you. I like to keep it simple. I like to leave it on there, right? And then a quick tip. This a quick tip, right? I learned this the hard way, and I got scared to death. Make sure there's an ATM strategy in this. With my mouse, come in mouse. The way I got this little yellow circle at over here, make sure it's an ATM strategy selected in this box. Make sure that don't say none before you enter a trade. Because if that says none, when you enter a trade, you're going to go into the trade what they call naked. You're not going to have a stop loss setup. You won't have a stop loss setup if there's no ATM strategy in there. You can get out of the trade without having a stop loss on, but it's very dangerous because futures move fast and you will get slaughtered if you don't have a stop loss in place, right? Okay, download and backtest data. We've been on here 40 minutes already. Do I want to go into this next part? We've been on here 46 minutes. If y'all want me to keep going to the download and backtest data, put a 1 in the chat. But if not, I can just stop and get questions if anybody got questions. All right. Yeah. Everybody with me? Anybody still with me? You see anything in the chat, baby? 1. I see a 1. Misha got a 1. All I need is 1 to say yeah. Let's go. Downloading the backtest data. Right, what you want to do, you want to click on the control center where it says connections. Right, you want to pull up the control center. It probably might be tucked behind your chart, but you want to click where it says connections. The reason why you clicking where it says connections is because you need to verify that you still connected to the live data. You got to be connected to the live data to download the backtest data. So you want to make sure you're still connected to live data. So you want to go on the control center and click on connections, right? Once you click on connections, you want to make sure you're connected to. Now, if you're in a demo account, you're probably gonna be connected to my Ninja Trader continuum. And everybody that, if you know what I'm saying, if you're looking at this right here, you should be on my Ninja Trader continuum, because it's like you trying to learn how to do it. So you shouldn't be done funded your account. You shouldn't be done bought no license or nothing like that. You should still be on that 14-day free trial with the flipping the emails, right? So you're gonna make sure you connected to down. My phone is blowing up. What happened? Oh, okay. You want to be connected to the live data in order to download the thing. Once you verify that you connected to the live data, you want to click on tools, right? You want to click on tools on the control center, and it's going to pop out the little pop-out menu, and you want to click where it says historical data, right? So 1, click on tools. 2, click on historical data, right? Once you click on historical data, what you want to do, you want to select the load tab. At the bottom is 2 tabs at the bottom. One says edit and one says load. You want to make sure you're on the load tab. And once you're on the load tab, you want to click right there where it says select instrument, select. You want to click that little drop down box and pick your instrument, and then you're going to pick the day that you want to download in the day box that's right next to it, right? So when you click the instrument tab, after you know it'll pop out a list of the instruments, right? The instruments in this top part right here, these are the ones you use, you've used recently, and the ones with the little pins by them are the ones that you got pinned. We talked about that in the episode the last time, whenever we went over how to download NinjaTrader and all that right there. If you don't see anything up here, then you'll just hover over where it says futures, and then go find the instrument that you want. And in this case, we're going to download something from the MES on the March contract, right? I see I got it pointing at the MES 0322. We're going to download January the 17th. And so we're going to put January 17th in this date box, and then we're going to hit download, right? Once you hit the download button, you should get a little message in the bottom corner of that. It says loading data and something you can't see because it's got dots, and it is tell you the instrument and the contract date that you picked, right? Loading data MES 0322. You'll see that pop up in the corner, right? And once you see that pop up in the corner, everything, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing on the screen because everything gonna go great light. It's gonna be a light gray. You see the MES, you see the January 17th, the download buttons are like a light gray. While it's doing that, it's relatively quick, but while it's doing that, you won't be able to do nothing on the screen, right? But it's relatively quick, right? And once you do that, boom. If you want to check to see if the data was downloaded, or if you already downloaded that day before, you're not sure, you would just click on the edit tab on that same little window, right? You'll click on the edit tab, and once you click on the edit tab, then you want to click the little plus mark. See how it's a plus next to historical right here? It'll be a plus right there next to market replay. You click that plus, and then you find the contract that you just downloaded, MES 022. When you click on that, on the right hand side, it'll show you all the days that you downloaded for that. And you see I got the circle around the January 17th. That's the one that I downloaded, and that's what we just downloaded in this example. That's how you check to see if you downloaded the correct date, right? And once you do that, boom, now you want to connect to the Playback server so that you can use the day that you just downloaded to trade as if it's that day, right? So what you want to do, you want to click on connections on the control center, right? And you're going to disconnect from the live data. So you're going to click the disconnect that's right there next to the NinjaTrader Continuum. And if you already got your license and all that, you will disconnect from whatever you named your live connection, right? You'll hit disconnect. Once you hit disconnect, you're going to hit connections again on the menu, right? And when it box come back open, you're going to click on Playback connection to connect it. And once you click on Playback connection, it's going to pop up a little box that look just like this right here. It's going to pop up a little box that says Playback. Now you're connected to the Playback server, and then you just set the start date and the end date for the day that you downloaded. If you've downloaded multiple days, then you'll set the start date for the first day you downloaded, and you'll set the end date for the last day that you downloaded. If you downloaded multiple days, and it'll play through. If you download a whole week, you can go through and trade that whole week as if you was trading during that time period, right? And that, my fine people, is it. That, my fine people, is it. We have went through a whole lot. I said a whole lot. Do I have any questions?
None at this time.
None at this time. Hey,
No.
baby, how you doing?
Hey.
Let me look at my sweetie. Hey, girl, how you
You so crazy.
Do we got any questions? I see some say, is that for overnight? Tap simp, what it is? What is what for overnight?
It was when you was talking. Can you hear my speaker?
Yeah, I hear you.
That was very detailed.
Yeah. That was very detailed. Appreciate that. If this person here still in here, that tap skim is what for overnight? Help me out. Here to learn and share. Appreciate you, dude. Misha, appreciate you with the clap, 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 clap. I couldn't have did that good, man. I ain't got no questions. I ain't got no questions. Y'all just typing real slow? Hey, man. I don't see no questions, so I guess we good. The margin. Oh, the margin for MES. Oh. I'm sorry. That's So the margin for the initial margin for MES is roughly $1,300, and what the initial margin um is the amount of money that you got to have in your account to hold that contract over a close. The intraday margin for the MES is $50 per contract. So you only need $50 to enter a day trade on the MES. But in order to hold that, the initial margin is $1,300. And so since NinjaTrader is a discount broker, then they only want you to put up $50 to go into the trade on the MES contract, you know what I'm saying, for the intraday margin. But the initial margin is 13. Roughly 30, it's like 1283 or something like that. Ain't no problem. And just like with the ES, the initial margin on the ES is roughly $13,000. But since NinjaTrader is a discount broker, you can trade a MES contract with as little as $500 in your brokerage account on NinjaTrader. Well, right now, since the volatility is up, right now they're in like double margin, so you'll probably need 1,000 right now. But with typically you can just have $500 in there and trade a ES contract. I don't advise it because you don't even have enough initial margin in there for a MES contract. But hey, if you want to go YOLO, you only live once, then hey, do what you do. All right, man. I ain't seeing no questions at all. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Don't forget, tonight at 8 o'clock, pull up on the Come Up Series YouTube page for Supplemental Sunday. Me and Lex gonna be doing some more stuff about futures, talking about strategies and stuff like that. So y'all pull up. Have you ever used TOS platform for trades? Nah, I don't. I gotta think a swim account, but I've never used it for trading futures. They got the options for trading futures, and I think they intraday margin is like 25% of the initial margin, I believe. I can't remember. I might be thinking. I know TradeStation is like 25% of the initial margin, so it's like you need like $3,000 to trade an an ES contract. I don't know. Excuse me, but I've never used it. Boyd said 16.5 is the initial margin. Boyd said 16.5. What's that? The initial margin of the intraday, Boyd? 16.5 is the initial margin or the intraday margin on TOS. Yep. You're so good. I can't formulate any questions, yet I still can't do what you just clearly. 21,000 on NQ for Thinkorswim. Golly, busting you in the head. Busting you in the head. All right, man. We're gonna call it. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. As always, if you want to get the slides, it's a link in the description. Oh, my baby know with me. It's a link in the description. Point down, baby. Point down. Link in the description to download the slides. You don't have to give me anything for the slides. Y'all go ahead and click the like button. They said it helps when you click the like button. Y'all share this with all the cousins. You know what I'm saying? We got over 2,000 cousins on Instagram, but we ain't got nothing but like 740 on YouTube. Let's get them numbers up. Pull up tonight at 8 o'clock. Me and Lex gonna be doing supplemental Sunday, and then next Sunday we gonna be talking about back testing specific strategies in futures, and then that's gonna be the wrap on the futures series for Tim's Tidbit. So if you learn how to back test specific strategies, pull up next Sunday, and we're gonna go through that, and that's gonna wrap it up for the futures series on Tim's Tidbit. To the next time, y'all know what it is, man. Gone.